Okay, no issues. I'm recording it. So the deployment setup is single arm, dual arm, and another setup. Another kind. There's another setup which we called half proxy. But nowadays we do not use. So mainly we do focus on single arm and dual arm. Along with this, we have to understand about persistence or stickness. There's different types of stickness are there, like source-based persistent, cookies, hash, all these things we have to practically understand. Monitoring concept, why we do require monitoring things. Virtual server configurations, different types of virtual server, auto lost hope, path load balancing, virtual server order of precedence, forwarding virtual servers, SNAT, when we required SNAT revisited, auto map pool, listeners, high availability, N1 concept, traffic group, state synchronization failover. So all these things we have to understand. Profiles, different profiles are there. Common protocol profiles, configuration using profile, HTTP profile, one HTTP compressed, one connect, F5 acceleration technologies, I rule configurations, I rule concept, and different ways to configure I rules, like based on situation or conditions, how we do modify our I rules. Along with this, most important thing, like here in F5 LTM, you should have to know about the TCP dumps. TCP dump is a way to get the captures and to get the live records or live sessions which is running on your LTM. So you can check out each and everything. Along with this, guys, after completing all these stuff, we have to move on. Uh, ASM things also, like how we can do enable security. See, we do focus on LTM, but along with this, I'll do explain about ASM and little bit about GTM things also. Why we called it DNS box and all. And ASM things, few things we have to cover practically, which is in production network you always get to know, or you always get when you do work. So the things which included in ASM, that is to secure our servers, how we do secure our servers, logging profile, security of servers, syslog, and these things we do have to cover here in ASM. Different types of server profiles, like you are why we do use IaaS servers and why we do use Joomla, PHP, web based server, all these things, and how we do check signatures and rest things. So that's part of ASM. So the whole syllabus of a LTM will take around 1.5 month, 1.5 month to 2 months, depends on like discussion and how in depth we are going. So most probably I'll do try to discuss each and everything in detail, but it depends on you guys, like how much, how focused you are on each topic. Like if you've done before something or you have idea about the things, so we can correlate with production networks also.
Sir, ideally, total how many hours of this course? Total hours?
It is actually 30 to 35 hours.
Okay, 100 total.
35 hours.
Thank you.
So let's start with the introduction part, guys. LTM. What is LTM, and why we called it LTM? LTM is your local traffic manager. But guys, now we do not call it LTM because it only it do not only perform load balancing. Along with load balancing, it do perform other tasks also, like SSL, offloading, traffic modification, manipulation, different 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 ways to perform Routing as well we can do here. Different kind of things we can perform, including persistence. So we called it ADC, means it is totally your ADC, application delivery controller. Means it do consist everything which is required to fast, which is required to modify application behavior, or which is required to uh, smooth your process of application, like application delivery controller. Along with load balancing, it do provide different things, including persistence, including monitoring of servers, including SSL offloading. So we called it ADC, application delivery controller. Means it do control everything regarding your application. If application required load balancing, if application required persistence, if application required monitoring. So the single box we can use, that is our ADC, LTM ADC, you can say, application delivery controller. Let me show you just one PPT, so it's become easy to understand the things. See, big IP does have different things. Along with LTM, it do provide different modules also. LTM for load balancing, global DNS we call GTM, link load balancing LC, web acceleration and WAN optimization. For acceleration and WAN optimization, people do use AAM, and ASM, application web firewall. We use ASM. Normal firewalling, for normal firewalling we use AFM, APM, SWG, WFV. These are like different modules. So the most famous modules which basically we do use in industry, that is LTM and GTM. And all these platforms and modules available on TMOS, Traffic Manager operating system. That's basically dedicated operating system for your F5. And F5 running all these platforms on a single operating system. It's basically combo of multiple software or applications, you can say. And when we do embed here in hardware, so it's become your application delivery controller. Now guys, let's talk about some fundamentals of F5, how F5 exactly work and how it do handle things, and how F5 look like. See, big IP focus on layer 4 to layer 7. F5 has focused on layer 4 to layer 7 since 1999. In 2004, F5 came out with TMOS, a full proxy architect, two separate connections, client to big IP and big IP to server. So guys, before starting anything LTM, we have to understand the proxy. What is proxy connection and how it do work? See, if I do explain about the F5 proxy architect, so F5 proxy architect look like this. Let's suppose I'm considering one organization example. This is my F5 and this is my firewall and this is outside internet. And outside internet connected to firewall and firewall connected to load balancer. And this load balancer further, let's say, have a layer 2 switch, and layer 2 switch consists, below layer 2 we have servers, server 1, 2, 3. and this is my firewall, and this is LTM, load balancer, F5 LTM, F5 LTM below connecting to layer 2 switch, and let's say I have 3 application servers. This is my layer 2 switch, and let's say this is server 1, server 2, and server 3. And there's one outside user. So this is your exact architect. Normally in organizations we do use this kind of architect. We use LTM after firewall, as well before firewall also we use LTM. In some cases people require to load balance their traffic as well. They do send traffic based on their requirement on different segments. So segregation we can also do perform based on LTM. So let's talk about first proxy architect. Proxy architect, basically proxy means this portion get completely hide, means no one knows about servers. Direct connection is not coming to our servers. If I'm saying proxy, so proxy means we are trying to something, we are trying to hide something. So in this case, if I do talk about LTM architect, so LTM architect is based on reverse proxy. LTM basically uses reverse proxy. See, there is basically basic 3 proxy architects are there: forward proxy, reverse proxy, and transparent. So LTM uses reverse proxy architect. Reverse proxy architect look like when traffic comes to outside and we do hide our servers. So such proxy architect we called reverse proxy architect. So in this case, let's say how traffic exactly come, that I'm gonna explain. So let's suppose my user IP is 2.2.2.2.2. So guys, I was talking about LTM reverse proxy architect. So LTM basically uses reverse proxy architect. In this, request come from outside to inside, and we do use LTM in between our servers and outside client request. So let's say I have I have a application, a web application in my data center, which is let's say www.abc.com. That's a domain name of my application, and this domain name basically resolved on public IP, which is, let's say, 1.1.1.1.1. And here in my, here in inside network, let's say I'm using private IP 10.1.1.1.1 on firewall, and here another IP of LTM port, which is 10.1.1.2. And here, let's say my subnet is 10.2.2.1, and servers are configured accordingly to 10.2.2.2, 10.2.2.3, 10.2.2.2.4. Guys, did you understand the setup which I'm explaining here? See, just to make you understand reverse proxy, I'm using such setup. All right. If anyone have any concern, you can ask, because you guys look quite.
No, this is understandable.
Robert, yeah, you're not speaking anything actually. No one asking. Yeah. So I was thinking it's bit
No, no, it is understanding. We are
like.
listening. No? That's it.
So it is the IP of client machine source IP 2.2.2. So guys, let's say web application is www.abc.com, and public IP which is mapped with this abc.com is 1.1.1.1. So when it comes to firewall, let's say I'm sending a request from outside and I'm trying to access this server which is behind LTM. So guys, in LTM we have uh, three main terms or three main listeners, which later we'll do discuss. But as of now, you can do understand VIP. VIP is your virtual IP. Let's say private virtual IP is 10.10.10.10, which is actually bind with a pool. Let's say my pool is A, and it do consist three members, one A, B, C, and A is having IP 2.2.2, and B is having IP 2.2.3, and C is having IP 10.2.4. So means if anyone trying to come to here on a web, so first it has to come here on firewall, then firewall further natted it and send it to LTM, then LTM further send it to request on server. So that we are going to understand. So that's our reverse proxy setup. So guys, first we have to understand the IP addressing scheme in our scenario. Then we further understand how exactly it's working. So let's say if I'm sending any traffic from outside, I'm trying to access my web application, which is abc.com, and it is mapped on public IP 111. So my request packet look like this. Source is 2.2.2.2. Destination will be 1.1.1.1.1. Of course, first I do start DNS request, then I get to know IP. So let's say it is on port 80. When it comes to here on firewall, firewall check the packet. This is source, this is destination. So it get to know the source 2.2.2.2 is the source. Destination is 1111, and it is on port 80. So firewall have a rule which is for destination NAT. So it do translate 111 into 10.1.1.1.10. How it do translate? With the help of destination NAT rule. So when 111 hit it do check the destination NAT rule, and further it do translate into web. So normally in data center, if you do check, public IP is configured on firewall, and that public IP is mapped on your web virtual IPs, which actually representing server. This web I'm using for my server, which is www.abc.com. So it is listener for abc.com. So request comes to here LTM, then LTM do check the traffic, and when F5 receive the traffic, so it look like this: source, destination. See the source, how the source look like. One source will be 2.2.2.2, and when it comes to LTM, because it is listening for 10.1.1.10, so of course, traffic will come for 10.1.1.10. All right. It is my first packet, which is TCP synchronization, SYN packet. Till anyone have any concern, you can ask. I hope it makes sense, like what I've explained till. It is just to show you the LTM importance and architect. Then we can do understand other things, how important is LTM and how we do use in production. And if LTM is not there, so how devices work, how devices before performing the LTM task, like how devices before performing monitoring and other things like load balancing. So guys, when packet comes to firewall, firewall will perform DNAT and send it to LTM, and LTM receive the traffic. Then it do check where the traffic is coming. It is coming for VIP 10.1.1.10, and VIP is bind with pool. Pool is again logical term, and it do bind two things, IP and port number. So let's say my pool is listening on 10.1.10 and port or service is 80. And this pool consists 3 servers, 1, 2, 3. These are pool members. And on pool, we do apply load balancing algorithm. Let's say I'm using round robin algorithm to load balance. So when traffic comes on VIP 10.1.1.10, it do check which pool is attached, on which port number it is listening. So it is listening on port number 80. So based on load balancing algorithm, it do select the server. Let's suppose it select the server 10.2.2.2. Then it do send the traffic to 10.1.1.2. But guys, if you try to understand exact setup, so how the connection setup will happen here. First, we do perform three-way handshake, which is we called front end connection. See, it is not like that. This very important thing which you have to understand. When I do send first packet to LTM, let's say I'm sending first packet to LTM, which is my synchronization packet. So parallelly, I do not choose my backend server and I do not send traffic to my backend server. I always do complete first three-way handshake. Front end, we called it front end three-way handshake. Then we do choose the next server based on load balancing algorithm. Then I do perform the connection with that server. So guys, it means if I do use LTM, so I always do use two connections. First connection we called front end, and next connection we called back end connection. Back end connection will always be decided by your LTM, and on which server it has to go, it is decided by algorithm which you run on your LTM side. So it means there is no connection. There's no connection which can directly come to server. It always come here on LTM. Then LTM further do decide on which server it has to send. So that's most efficient way, or most efficient way to control our traffic and to perform load balancing. Means we do use fully proxy architect. First we do connect, we establish, first we do connect, first we do complete three-way handshake with LTM, then LTM further send it to servers. So let's say,
Yeah,
yes,
you meant to say three-way handshake or all TCP connection handled by LTM, right? There is
yes,
no server role between that. Only actual data will send to server by LTM.
yes, correct. So that's why I'm saying front-end connection and back-end connection. One connection which actually come from client to LTM, and then LTM initiate connection to servers. So let's say if I do complete my three-way handshake here, the whole three-way handshake get completed. All right, let's say your whole three-way handshake get completed, then it comes to here on server. So original server when receive the packet, so it look like this. Source will be, see, the most important thing, LTM does not change the source by default. It do send the original source IP. So source IP will be this 2.2.2 and destination will be 10.2.2.2.4. Let's say in my case, if I'm receiving traffic on this machine, then it do send it to next packet, which is SYN plus ACK, and again client will give ACK. So again three-way handshake get completed. Once three-way handshake get completed, then other data transfer or other process will start. So that's why we called it reverse proxy architect, because the outside client coming, and outside client does not have on which IP it is actually hitting. It is belongs to server or it is belongs to LTM. We do not have idea. We are just hiding our server behind LTM. And if I do talk about real architect, so it always be like this. People do hit on public IP, and that public IP is mapped over VIP, and VIP further connected with LTM, and LTM then decide, LTM attached with the pool then connected with the pool members, and based on load balancing algorithm, it do send the traffic to server. Now let's talk about the old time when we do not have load balancers. Let's suppose you are in data center and you do not have load balancers. So how all these tasks you do perform? How exactly all these things you do? That's also important to understand. Let's suppose I do not have LTM. So guys, all tasks regarding load balancing, SSL, monitoring, everything we do perform on server. So if I do give example for this, you must heard about this Microsoft server. Microsoft server started a technology or a role which is NLB, network load balancing. So NLB is the feature which available in Microsoft. So we do create cluster of servers, and it is also based on VIP. Let's say server IP is 1, 10.123. So I do create one VIP 10.1.1.1.5. So one server will become master. So let's say if connection comes to VIP, so it send it to server. Then server further apply the load balancing algorithm, then send it to other servers in order to balance the request or balance the sessions. So this is the technique. And in very similar way, let's say if you are using offloading process, SSL encryption, decryption, certificate based concept, or if website is based on HTTPS, so all SSL offloading process we do perform here on servers. Encrypted traffic comes to here on server. In this case, earlier it always be like this, end-to-end encryption. If I do send any packet, let's say I'm sending any packet my client machine to server, so it is all encrypted till server, and then server decrypt it. So then you can realize in real time if you are doing offloading, if you are doing load balancing, if you are doing monitoring. For monitoring purpose, we do use some agents or some monitoring tools here, and we do monitor our servers. If service goes down, so we just have to we just get the idea about the service. So everything depends on servers. So without load balancer, if you're running your application, so it's like excessive utilization of servers, or you can say resource utilization get increased at your server side. There's nothing like centralized uh, traffic distribution point from where you can distribute your traffic and you can check each and everything which is either going or coming in your AD, in your applications. You do not get kind of monitoring and traffic view. You have to just go on servers, each server, or you do collect log from each server. So it is like that. Means you do perform load balancing, SSL, you do perform monitoring, persistence, everything you do perform here on servers. So you can realize how much robust you have to use your servers. Like resource must be quite good to handle all these processes. Moreover, at the same time, applications may be used by your team. So that is also kind of resource utilization if for time being someone doing any access or doing task. So everything depends on servers. But if LTM comes in picture, so it look like this. Everything centralized, visible to you here at LTM. Everything you can do, perform based on monitoring as well. Instead of performing SSL on servers, you can do perform SSL like this. Outside client to LTM, you can encrypt your data. Outside LTM to outside client to LTM, we can use encrypted data, and all data offloading or encryption decryption we can perform here. Means encrypted data comes here and then LTM do decrypt it, and when it actually your LTM is in your data center or it is your own premises or it is at your local place. So even if you do send the traffic to backend server in plain text, so it do not gonna hamper anything. So LTM further send your data traffic to your servers which is in plain text. So means whatever the encryption you are using on servers, now it all handled by your LTM. The most important thing, management. Let's say if a server, if a certificate get expired or something, you have to change regarding your SSL configuration. So on each server you have to do and you have to perform the same configuration. So configuration and management wise, there is advantage along with process and resource utilization get also decreased. All process intensive tasks we removed here and we performed here. Monitoring we can also perform here based on application, based on services we can perform monitoring of servers also. That is based on LTM. Health checking, monitoring if particular service goes down, so accordingly it will show. So totally beneficial to have a load balancer in our environment and to utilize different tasks or different things on LTM based on requirement. So if you required your applications required like SSL things, so you can do perform here. The first example which I've explained, that is basically half encryption. Front end encryption it do provide and back end encryption it do not provide here. But if let's say application required full encryption, some application which you run in data center, it actually requires full. Some application do not supports clear text. So even if you required end-to-end full encryption, like you are running some financial site or something related to banking, so in that case you can use full encryption. So everything get encrypted here. Means connections comes to LTM. LTM do not check for offloading. It do send it to server, and then server can offload. Like old setup which we were using without LTM, that we can also use. Anyone have any question regarding this?
No, sir.
All good.
Yeah.
So guys, I think we do cover till this only today, because there is few other people who do join from tomorrow. So it is better to have this much only. So in next session, I'll do further explain other things about LTM, like how we do further utilize different types of architect. Then we'll do start with practical stuffs, like how we do live our setup, and how we do use different servers for practice purpose. Everything we can use. So LTM do focus mainly on servers, how we do load balance. See, TMOS the most mature full proxy ADC. Introducing TMOS, so connections comes to LTM, and then LTM send it to servers. So tomorrow I'll do explain about the TCP three-way handshake process, exact three-way handshake process packet wise. It just more than just a load balancer. Lots of load balancing methods, composite monitoring, geolocation database, and more. Acceleration feature is also there. TCP Express fast cache, HTTP compression, security feature is there. So that's why we called it ADC, guys. That I was trying to explain, because it do not only load balance your traffic. Along with load balance, it do provide acceleration feature, stickiness feature, persistence, security things. There's a lot more.
So, sir, as per your diagram, you have shown us that this LTM is working for the DMZ zone, right? It's behind the DMZ zone and protecting your servers from the outside network. So, can we use this LTM publicly? I mean to say, in front of the firewall, internet facing.
Yes. It can be at front of the firewall. Again, it depends on design. See, some people do use for ISP load balancing. They do terminate their links on load balancer, and
Mhm.
traffic comes from firewall to load balancer, and it uses LTM as well, firewall, to utilize the links as well. Further, they use uh, other ways also. In some companies, if you have front end and back end kind of concept, so some people do use like this. Direct traffic comes from internet. Let's say it is front end setup. So firewall, this is your proxy device, and it is connecting to, let's say, Nexus switch. So guys, it is like this. Let me explain it. Nexus connected to your internet, and here we have LB. Further, this Nexus switch connected to your firewall. So connection comes to here. Let's say you have different pods, power pods which is having firewalls. So connects people do use internet. So traffic comes from outside internet to Nexus, then it comes to here LB, then LB send it to firewall, then further firewall perform load balance, further firewall perform destination net and send it to servers. Or there is lot more we can do perform based on setups. So here see directly traffic is not coming on firewall, traffic is coming on load balancer. Then load balancer decide to whether the traffic goes to here on firewall 1 or 2 or firewall 3. Then accordingly it do perform NAT. So this is also way. I'll do show you some real time examples also. So it makes sense when we do perform practicals. But in general, it always be like behind the firewall and it can be at front of firewall. Again, it depends on scenario. So guys, the explanation was still about only the proxy architect and the fundamentals, like why we use LTM and the brief about the LTM introduction part. Robert and Mehul, do you have any concern or any doubt regarding this? So I'll do share all these documents to you. It is a complete document about LTM and you get the videos, lab access and everything. So it is basically required license to use the features of load balancer. So first I'll do make you understand how we do use the license, how we do activate our load balancers. Let's say I want to start my practical stuff. So before starting practical stuff, you have to get the keys from LTM. If you have a keys, then only you can do use the LTM things. All right. So for that, we have to start the practicals. Yeah, Robert,
Okay, sir.
you are speaking something.
Yes.
No, nothing.
Sir,
Mehul?
what about F5 VPN? Because of we are using also F5 VPN.
Yes, that's basically F5 firewalling part. All right, F5 do provide VPN supports, which is based on agent as well, normal firewalling part. So there's lots of products of LTM. This F5, which I have explained you, like it do have LTM, ASM, AFM. So if you are using firewalling part, so you can do use VPN as well. See, these are the modules. These are the products which comes under F5. All right. LTM DNS. If you are using this network firewall, SSL VPN, APM feature, so you can use remote access VPN. Mehul, does it make sense what I'm explaining here?
Yes.
So see, if you are looking for this, so you just have to enable the license. So single license for trial purpose, if I do use license, so it do provide 1 month duration. So everything just get activated. So you can use it. No issues. Okay, guys. So we'll meet tomorrow at same time, 5 o'clock, and then we'll start further.
Sure, sir.
Okay, all right.